What is far more rare than people realize? Solid brown fur cats. Apparently it's some kind of recessive gene in them. Also, brown eyes. They're common in big cats but quite rare for domestic cats. Yeah, I've never actually seen a brown cat. I never thought about it until now. I owned a brown domestic cat who had a feral mother, so she was not some pedigreed Havana brown. She had the most beautiful green eyes. My vet had 3,000 cats in his practice, and she was the only brown one. Everybody remembered Ellie. People who remain friends with you once you leave school. You also find out who your real friends are when you leave a job. I don't think it's necessarily intentional when you don't hang with people you used to work with. Most adults are busy with day-to-day life. It simply takes too much bandwidth to keep up friendships as well. So we tend to have friends who slide easily into our routine. Once you don't work together and see each other all week, it's just too hard to maintain. It's not a personal knock on either person. Agreed, I've come to accept that most friendships in life are seasonal. They happen because you work together, live near each other, kids go to the same daycare, etc. Once that thing that brings you together goes away, the friendship generally does too. Bit of peace and fucking quiet. Green eyes make up just 2% of the global population. But like 40% of fictional characters, lol. Large green eyes that seem to glow behind jet black hair. Northern Lights. The amount of people I've heard say, "We've come all this way, what time do they come on?" is staggering. As an Icelander, I've probably heard this question more times than I've actually seen the Northern Lights. I visited Iceland last November and saw them all 3 nights I was there. Thought they were pretty common, their weather permitting. Born and raised in Newfoundland, Canada. Seen the Northern Lights once in my life. I know we are not that far up, just above and to the right of New York, but that one time I was in Gromorn Park and it was a magical night. Foxes came out of the woods to circle us. Realistically, they were hunting, but us big humans didn't give a single fuck, lol. We roasted hot dogs and bologna on the open fire. Green, yellow, blue, slight red streaks in the sky. It was nice. Stranger rape. Unfortunately, sexual assault is all too common, but the vast majority of it happens in a social context. Date rape. The kind where some maniac is hiding in an alley or a bush and jumps out to grab a total stranger is actually far less common. People say, "Carry your keys sticking through your fingers," or, "The police should increase foot patrols," but those are a distraction from the much larger problem, which will not be solved that way. I think it's because people want to try to blame the unacceptably high incidence of sexual assault on evil weirdos, rather than admitting it's a societal problem with the society that we are a part of. What is most disturbing is the number of rapes committed by family members. People want to believe it is a stranger because facing the fact it is someone you love makes it hard to trust anyone. My grandmother and 2 of her sisters all had a child out of wedlock in the 1940s. The story was always the guy married someone else when he came back from the war. My uncle never met his father, but in the end, she was saying things that didn't make sense. Near her death, she couldn't keep the story up as her memory was slipping. From what I pieced together, they were all 3 raped by their uncle who had been sent to live with them, their dad's younger brother. After all 3 were pregnant, their dad threw him out and never spoke to him again. I was able to piece out the story as the uncle's son had bits and pieces too. Heartbreaking and sad. Raped by someone they should have been able to trust. Too common. Stranger rapes are rare. When I was in university in the 90s, I remember seeing the stats on rape and really questioning the advice that was given to women. If you're drunk at a party, ask a male friend to walk you home. This literally was the advice given. If you're drunk at a party, ask a complete stranger to walk you home. Yeah, the scary part is that the average rapist or sex offender isn't some grotesque, hideous being lurking in the shadows that can't get consensual sex to save his or her life. It's usually a fairly attractive person, or at least decent looking, who showers daily, brushes their teeth, goes to their 9 to 5, is well liked by friends, family, and coworkers, who volunteers, who has interesting hobbies, etc. It's scary because that's a lot of people. How can you tell when one is going to try to rape you later? I think it comes from the misconception that people rape others because they want sex. Most of the time, they could easily find someone to have sex with them. They have money to pay for a prostitute, They are often attractive and could easily find a hookup, but that's not what they want. They want power over their victim. They feel inferior and need to prove that they are in control and have more power than the person they are hurting. Serial killers. I read an article suggesting the decline in the number of serial killers can be attributed to the increase in the number of people choosing to go on shooting sprees instead. Lazy and lame. The one I heard was the golden age of serial killer was attributed to the increase in transport distance when communications and other technology haven't caught up. Before private cars, a serial killer would find a victim locally, eventually getting caught. After rapid improvement in DNA technology, phones, and CCTV, serial killers get caught by their third kill. Clean water. My son and I have been discussing this lately. He is a chemical engineer and works exclusively with water. Many of the studies he has been published on also have to do with clean water and forever chemicals. Water is a huge issue that is becoming bigger every day and normal people are forgetting about it. This is absolutely true. I went to college in the American West where water was a precious commodity. I now work in surface water quality compliance on the East Coast of America, and it baffles me how flippant we are in the East with water quality. A stable, loving, peaceful domestic life. To add to this, being raised in one as well. I have only recently started to realize how lucky I was to be raised mostly with my mom's family. They all genuinely love each other and get along. There's little arguments here and there, but nothing even so bad as typically sitcom stuff. Having a huge support structure just makes any challenges in life a little bit easier to weather. If I could share anything with the world, it would be how much it helps to just genuinely care for others and have them care for you. My friend was raised in a loving, stable family, and it blows my mind. She just assumes she's loved and was brought to the library or congratulated for good grades. Like what? Breaks my heart as a dad that stuff doesn't even register as loving gestures to me, just like the basic interactions. Especially when you consider the divorce rate is over 50%. And before someone says it's repeat divorcees, the divorce rate for first marriages is 43%. It's just wild people get married after like 2 years of dating for a lifetime of marriage. Lifetime is a long fucking ass time. Trees. We're the only planet that we know that has them, thus making them rarer than diamonds in the universe. Tetanus, we get vaccines for it, but it's actually a bit harder to get than you may believe. That's good. But the disease itself is so horrible you don't want to give it any chance. It's sort of like rabies. It's pretty damn rare, but it's so awful you don't want to take any chance. So I shouldn't worry if I step on a rusty nail? Not really, since the bacteria causing it are mostly found in soil and manure. Rust has nothing to do with it, but a rusty, jagged nail full of ground soil can transfer more contamination than a smooth one. Blimps. I live in northeast Ohio near the Goodyear hangar. We see them all the time. I had to pull up a list. That northeast Ohio has 3 out of 4 operating Goodyear blimps named Wingfoot 1, 2, and 3. Only maybe 12 are operating anywhere in the world, with a total of 25 existing at all. But we see them all the time at Wingfoot Lake Disc Golf Course. Man-to-man compliments. I remember about my 7th grade year. It was probably 1994. Me and my friends started telling each other we love you, man. Being good friends with the other dude and telling them you love them. That is more rare than anything. We got obnoxious. We just kept telling each other, bro, I love you. No, bro, I love you more. No, bro, you're the fucking man more than me. It was so silly, but still today I think about it and smile. I still miss and love my boys. I try to compliment men and tell them they are killing as much as I can. Any compliment is amazing. I usually do some dumb shit like, damn bro, you're killing it. Critical thinking skills. Yes. And most people think that having this is to be able to criticize something, e.g., well, that sounds stupid, 73% is not that much, so that the idea is just to be resistant to information. What it really is to be able to compare ideas objectively, based on best available information and data, which now and always will be incomplete, and make your assessments based on that. Heroin. It's pretty much all fentanyl and xylazine at this point. Source: AM Addictions Counselor. Stay safe out there, kids. Do you mean pure heroin is rare, or are you saying most people are taking pure fent and xylaz thinking it's heroin? Both a disturbing thought. Vast majority of druggies you see on the streets of the US today are on fentanyl, not heroin or meth like it was 5-6 years ago. What is far more rare than people realize? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.